Hey guys, it's Wolf. Figured I'd show you guys what I was talking about, how the brown trailer was put together. Now, as you can see, I finished it up, hauling it from work. I kept looking back because I thought I lost it off the truck, and it was still there. It was tracking good and just rode real smooth like silk. So, Friday, I'm going to take it down to the scrapyard because I've got it loaded down with junk. I'll take it down and see how she works. Now, I'm going to show you guys how the brown trailer was put together. As you can see, they had angle iron here, and then what they did was they bolted this angle iron to the sides here, and then basically used plywood to hold it all together. The deck, the plywood deck. Unfortunately, a lot of the bolts rotted out, and so when I was going down the road, it just, this was the side that dropped down and come up against the tire and almost gave me a heart attack. But the front was bolted together with the same angle iron, and as soon as I hit it with the torch, the bolts and the angle iron, the whole trailer just come apart. The body did. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it tracked real good. Didn't sway or anything. I mean, it just, like I said, I had to keep looking back because I thought I lost it. But yep, hooked up to the old 72. But yeah, I figured I'd do a video of how it handled coming back from work. So I'm home now. It was a fairly interesting day. If you hear screaming in the background, it's there's apartments up in the back there. That property used to be the Jacksonville Raceway, but they decided Section 8 apartments were more important than just leaving it an empty lot, so they put them in there, and every night you'll hear the police over there, sirens and gunshots and all that, and it can be hairy at times. There was a couple of times I was back here at night and working on the tractor here and changing the fuel filters, and I hear and then I look into my pecan tree and there's a slug in it, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, so yeah, they get pretty restless over there. So, but I figured another thing I'd show you guys is my brush hog tractor. This is a 1966 Ford 2000. I paid $1,500 for it. We had when I got it, the engine had been rebuilt, but the problem was the steering box, and I didn't know this at the time, but the steering box was busted. Where one of the pitmen, where one of the shafts coming out of the box was cracked, and I think it was this side right here, right in this area here. There's a weld here and a weld here, because I'm assuming whoever had the tractor hit something with it, and then they just brought it in as a trade-in. Well, so I looked for a steering box, just the box. I didn't need any of the gears or anything. Kept looking, couldn't find one. Well, one day, this guy comes in, and we got to talking, and he says, well, I weld for the Navy. He says, I can weld cast and aluminum. He says, I'm kind of, they got me on vacation right now, and he says, I'm just bored out of my skull. He says, I won't charge you anything. And he says, would you mind if I welded the box up for you? And I was like, well, all right. I figure, well, if I don't get the box back, I don't get the box back. Well, I kind of thought, well, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that just haul ass with my box. Well, took the box, and 2 weeks later he comes back and he says, here's your box. He says, I welded all the cracks and everything, and he says, I put a ring around the outside so it'll strengthen that up. So I was like, cool. So I went ahead, bought new bearings, had to get shims for it, and put it all back together. And I'm still gonna have to play with the adjustment and maybe find some new rods here, because these are all bent up and they're just, the tie rod ends are just completely wore out. But for an old 66 2000, she runs pretty good. I gotta do some body work to it. I gotta take the tin all. I gotta take all the tin off of it and straighten it out. I mean, this poor thing was just beat the hell and back when I got it. I mean, it run good, but everything else, I ended up having to pull the seat off and dig into the hydraulics, clean the pump and everything out, and repair it. And so now the lift works really well. And when I bought the tractor, they actually threw in this 4-foot rotary cutter. I think it's a razor, but I'm not sure. As you can see, this thing is yeah, it's pretty much beat to hell. I mean, and that's probably why they gave it to me for nothing. But I mean, it works. It cuts grass really well, and they put new bearings in the gearbox. So, and I ended up having to get a couple of seals for it because it was leaking gear oil. So I replaced the seals in it, filled it up, and it sharpened the blades, and it just, I mean, it's a cut and full. But the problem is, a 4-footer for this old Ford is just, it's too small. And I really probably should get a 5-footer. But what I got too much crap here. I gotta clean this yard up. But yeah, you can see I gotta straighten all the tin out and everything. I'll straighten all the tin work out. And originally it was painted yellow. Somebody had said, oh, well, that's primer, but it was DOT yellow. And when I looked the serial number up and everything, it was actually an old state tractor. So I'll probably repaint it the yellow. But I'll straighten all the tin work out, and it does run pretty good. Let me see if there's a battery in here. I think the battery's in it. If the battery's in it, then I'll fire it up for you guys. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we got a battery in here. Let's see if it's any good. I gotta do some wiring in that to it, because the wiring's toast. I'll leave her running for a little bit. That thing hasn't run in probably 6 months, so that's pretty good. But anywho, I figured I'd give you guys an update of the trailer and show you the old Ford. So anyway, guys, I'll see you next video. Have a great week.